Bagan Archaeological Zone is the formal name used to designate the historical region of the ancient Kingdom of Bagan. It has been suggested that perhaps over the 13,000 temples, pagodas, stupas and other religious structures originally were built in this 42 square kilometers area during the height of the Bagan kingdom between the 11th and 13th centuries. The region clearly stands as one of the most significant archaeological sites of the Southeast Asia. In 2002, it has been nominated by UNESCO for World Heritage Site status. Perhaps there have been settlements in the area on the left bank of Irrawaddy River since the 2nd century of Christ era. But the original walls of the first permanent settlement probably date back from beginning of the kingdom to the mid-9th century. Under the rule of King Anbrata 1044–1077, Bagan became united and entered its golden age. In the aftermath of his conquest of the Mons in 1057, Mons culture and especially Theravada Buddhism tradition became a dominating influence. The king became a staunch apologist of Theravada ideas and practices and embarked on a major construction program in support of the new religion. From the time of King Anbrata until the conquest of Bagan by Mongols Kubilai Khan's forces in 1287, the area was the vibrant center of the religious building activity. A highly developed system of irrigation canals for a while supported a thriving rice culture. The massive construction projects, however, may have also eventually contributed to some denuding of the land, to erosion and economic decline, which ultimately led to the kingdom demise. The last kingdom ruler, King Naratihapati (1255–1287), was also a builder, and he was responsible for the construction of Bagan's last major religious project, Mingala Jedi. When the Mongols' armies came into the area, he refused to pay tribute and offered serious resistance. After the defeat of the Burmese army, Naratihapati tried to escape but eventually was poisoned by his own son, the ruler of the Piai city, also known as Prome. The capital never recovered its former prominence, though ample evidence of its greatness remains on the Bagan plain. The timbered buildings, of course, have long disappeared, and perhaps a third of original city have been swept away by the floods of Irrawaddy River. Recent archaeological investigations indicated that there are more than 2,000 identifiable monuments plus almost the same number of bricks and earthen mounds that cannot be identified. The art mural paintings, stucco carving, stone carving, goldsmith, silversmith, brassmith, blacksmith, the masonry work, the wood carving and the glazed ornaments of Bagan period can be observed on Bagan Buddhist monuments, such as mural paintings and stucco. Before the establishments of the Bagan kingdom, two different cultural centers existed in Myanmar. They are the Pyu kingdom in central Myanmar and the Mon kingdom in lower Myanmar. Nowadays, Baek Tono, Hai Lin, Sarik Kshetra are the major archaeological sites of Pyu in Myanmar. According to tradition, Bagan was founded in the 2nd century by the ruler of Pyu tribes, King Tamudait. Pyu people contributed to the formation of early Buddhist architecture and had a significant influence on the architectural style of Bagan. Manoha Paya Temple is popularly believed to have been built by the Mon prince Manoha. He held captive by King Anbrata after the conquest of Taton in 1057. The temple features 3 large-seated Buddhas facing east towards to the road and a single long reclining image in the extension of the rear of the building. The Glass Palace Chronicle records that Manoha sponsored the construction of the central-seated image and the recumbent Buddha in the hopes of escaping future rebirths and the indigeneity by the capture of the rival king. Indian influences can be seen in the Buddhist architecture constructed during the early Pyu and Mon period. Pyu and Mon were influential groups of tribes who migrated to central and lower Myanmar in the 4th-2nd centuries before Christ. During Bagan period, the early Pyu-style Buddhist architecture was transformed into monuments containing new elements and features. Some examples of Mon early Buddhist art architecture can be found in Bagan nowadays. For example, Bu Paya and Pau Pinya, 2 encased stupas to the northwest of the well-known Gaudao Palin temple. Also, some of them can be seen on the north of Tiri Piyatsaya Palace site and some inner stupas of the encased Buddhist monuments. The shapes of the stupas are different from the later Myanmar times. They are boulders in shape. There are 2 major historical types of architectural structures are found in Bagan Archaeological Zone. The stupa in Burmese is called Chedi, is one of the primary Buddhist monuments. Originally perhaps a cairn, it became a funerary monument, and then occurred cosmic symbolism of Buddhahood containing Buddha-associated relics. Many Chedis were also built to honor of notable person or even bring lasting remembrance to an important family. The other major surviving architectural form at Bagan is the temple, or pato, which can also take a variety of forms. The temples were inspired by the rock-hewn caves in Buddhist India. They were larger, multi-stored buildings that one could enter. They were places of worship which included richly frescoed corridors, with sacred shrines and images that could be worshipped. Tadvinyu Temple is the tallest temple in Bagan, and it's 66 meters in height. It consists of 4 stories and 7 terraces. It was built by the king Auluangsi II in the 12th century AD. The temple was constructed during a period of rededication of Theravada Buddhism and religious scholarship, and construction was completed in 1150–1151. Additional ornamentation work continued on the terraces but was never fully completed. The terraces contain indentations that were meant to hold a series of over 500 ceramic plaques depicting the Jataka stories, but the plaques apparently were never added. The interior of the temple consists of pointed arches and the spacious hallways and barrel vaults in other areas. Each floor has 2 tiers of windows, creating a vibrant and light interior. Original mural painting with the footprints of Lord Buddha can be viewed on the ceiling on the western porch of the temple.